The college football experience, Colorado Buffaloes 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with the promo code, our promo code, TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Colorado Buffaloes 2025 season preview episode as just excited. YouTube.com/the college experience. Jump on over here. We're breaking down all 136 teams. Tonight, it's Colorado followed by Wisconsin. On Wisconsin, and let's go Buffs. Go Buffs. And look, this is a team I've locked up on the over for the past 2 years, and they have delivered. And I cashed a plus 800 money line play against TCU 2 years ago. So if anybody has a pulse on these fucking Buffaloes, it's your boy.
Look out, just watch him go. Look out, the Buffalo. Oh no, it's a guy on a Buffalo. Look out on a Buffalo.
Yes, and if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
He's the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
Oh, buddy. Look, lost out on a tiebreaker to play for the playoff game because you put a conference together with 1,000 damn teams. Well, get used to that, college football fans. Good year. Good year. The best year in a while since 17, I would say, with McIntyre. And let's see if he can build on this thing. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the College Basketball Experience. Subscribe over there. When the season goes live, we're talking college hoops every single night of the season, just like we do with football. Give it up for Farmer Stafford with the Governors of Austin Peay, with the Gamecocks of South Carolina, and with the Mountaineers of West Virginia, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, brother?
What is up, man? Hey, no coincidence. Great year because you came back home to America's League, the Big 12, baby. Shout out to the Buffs.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Yeah, no, you're right. And look, it was a crazy year, I would say. Anytime, it's bittersweet because anytime you lose out on like a four-way tiebreaker, that sucks for not only Colorado but for BYU. At least BYU had the head-to-head with Arizona State as opposed to like Iowa State. These teams, a lot of them didn't play each other, so we really were kind of, Colorado didn't play Arizona State, they didn't play Iowa State. So, but Colorado, even though I'm saying all that, they still could have controlled their own destiny had they won at Kansas/Arrowhead, whatever you want to say. And they didn't. They choked. But, man, with how bad the program's been over the years, it was a great season in my mind. Like, say what you want about the Shedeur's draft. I could give one shit about his draft status, right? I really could. I couldn't. I mean, like but it was a good season, man. If they can build on that, and that's, I think, the kind of the X factor here. You look at this season, their losses at Nebraska, the Kansas State game, the Kansas game, and the BYU game. Now they did get worked in that BYU game, but it's not bad. They got lucky against Baylor. The busted coverage there. They played like shit that game, really, in my opinion. But the win at Texas Tech, I thought was super impressive. And I'll tell you, like, one of the things I was most impressed by was the defensive coordinator hire. Robert Livingston did a great job in year one, and we will talk about that in a bit. But yeah, it's kind of in this weird era right now where, like, you don't really know. I think they're as much of a mystery team as we just talked about with West Virginia. Go listen to our West Virginia preview. I think there's parallels. I think there's, despite Prime being there, this will be his third season. It's just they heavily rely on the portal. Mm-hmm. So it makes, they don't, like, Deion doesn't even really give a shit about high school recruiting. I know he brought in the 5-star Juju Lewis, but he doesn't really focus. His approach is not the same as, I would say, majority of the universities out there that are out there grinding. He's like, yeah, fuck that. I'll go for like 4 or 5 guys, and the rest I'm going in on the portal. So it's going to be fascinating to see over the next few years how it works out. Assuming he's there for the next few years, that's always the word, right? But what's your assessment so far? Just what going into year 3? He's got a 13-12 record in 2 years, 40-18 overall as a head coach. But man, last year was a breakthrough year for me, in my opinion, for the program. And I thought they were a little bit better in 23 than 4-8. But when you have Travis Hunter miss a month, that will do it to you. But what's your overall assessment?
I mean, the jolt of energy and just PR that he's been able to bring to Boulder and get them on the national scene. And I know he rubs people the wrong way at times, but I mean, he has found a way to make Colorado relevant. And we should note this too. Travis Hunter won the Heisman. He's only the 4th guy to win the Heisman in the last 20 years that wasn't a quarterback. Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Devontae Smith, and Reggie Bush. So actually the 5th guy. So a quarterback award. I know a lot of people disagree with them retiring their jerseys already, but I don't really care about it.
I mean, I disagree with them, and I'm a newsflash. Newsflash, folks. I grew up a Colorado fan.
Yeah.
I would have waited a little bit of time personally. I would have retired Deion Figures, who was an incredible player for Colorado, before I did Shedeur Sanders. But I mean, who really gives a shit at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Like I read all the time about universities unretiring numbers just because you need numbers. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, well, shit, we've retired too many numbers. Let's unretire, I don't know, John Mackey or something, right? So I mean, I disagree with the move, but I don't really think it, like, boo-hoo.
Deion.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
The more you push back, the more he's going to do it, just to show you who's in charge. But yeah, I mean, what Travis Hunter did there is, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever see something like that ever again. The only guy that honestly reminds me of it is Charles Woodson, and then the guy right there on the screen, his coach, Deion. So, and then Shedeur obviously had a great career as well at the quarterback position. And they got this thing going in the right direction. I'm interested to see how they build off it. They, like you said, they're an unknown, like a lot of these Big 12 teams. And in a conference that is so 50-50, can they get on the right side of some of these one-score games, or do we see some regression?
Yeah. And one of the main things with the unknown, let's jump into this here, youtube.com/The College Experience. Look, last season they were 31st in scoring offense under Pat Shurmur, who, look, I hated this hire when it happened, by the way.
I know.
And I gotta give him his flower. I think he's better than what I assumed. And I thought, oh God, don't get this NFL guy. But from what I understand too, like, he is kind of a jack of all trades here. Like, whereas they are shifting their philosophical approach on how to win football games this year. So they were 6th in the nation in passing offense last year, 133rd out of 134, folks, at running the football. 69th in total offense. Yeah, Look, I hate those numbers. As a Colorado fan, like I grew up with very good running back play from like 1985 to like 2005. So it was like I prefer to run the ball. That's why I'm very excited about this, if this is true. But this is what I hear. Everybody, and I've checked with multiple people. We've had Mark Johnson on the show before. They're a play-by-play guy. From what I understand, like they are loading up on the run. They brought in Marshall Faulk as the running backs coach, hired a new O-line coach. Obviously, they still have Warren Sapp as the D-line coach. Byron Leftwich is actually part of the offensive coaching staff as well. I mean, I don't even know what to make of that because, like, I never know. You know, sometimes I argue with Colorado fans because I'm like, dude, just because he's a great football player doesn't mean he's a good coach. You know what I mean? Like Willis Reed was a fucking terrible fucking coach in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like a great basketball player. I mean, that's just one example. There's a bunch of these where you can go through, but I do think it helps. Like to me, if I'm a recruit and Marshall Faulk is talking to me, I am going to listen. He's one of the best running backs ever. So I'm intrigued to see how it works out, but I'm very excited to see a shift to a power rushing attack, which I think they're trying to do apparently. They went out in the portal and they got Kaiden Salter, who I think is a beast. And the more you learn about his scenario last season, so he's got 59 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He also has 16 rushing touchdowns on his career. But Auburn wanted him last year, right? And a few other schools, I believe. He couldn't get out of his transfers because of some type of credit issue at Liberty. So he was actually kind of imprisoned last year, from what I understand, which understands why Liberty didn't have the greatest year. Because if you have just an unhappy person that doesn't want to be there, that knows they can make more money out there on the market, I get it. It makes a lot of sense then. But what I am very excited about this get, when I saw them land him, I was like, okay, I like this get. Now they of course have, and he'll be at the Big 12 Media Days or tomorrow. He's there with the 5-star Juju Lewis, who they flipped from USC to Colorado. Both are going to Big 12 Media Day. Look, I know Juju's the future, but I because Kaiden Salter, you don't have that much eligibility left there. So, but I think for 1 year, if you're trying to win the Big 12 championship, I kind of like the move. And part of the rushing approach that I think could be tricky, I have no proof of this with Pat Shurmur. I'm just basing this off of the shift in wanting to be a power rushing team. If you give me a running attack with Salter's legs, and it can be, if the rushing attack can be just a little bit successful, I like it. I think it could fit. I think it could work because I think he's just good enough of a passer that I think, okay, you'd really stress out defenses because he's got some wheels, man. He can move. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that get. I just hope they commit to the style, and it's just not, because Juju Lewis is not a running quarterback. He's a drop back, throw the ball 50 times a game. All right. So Salter is back. Dallen Hayden, who was a really nice transfer get from Ohio State a year ago. Now, he was dinged up last year, and when he played, he didn't play much, but the O-line wasn't very good at rushing the ball. So I don't even know what to make of it. I know everyone was praising him at Ohio State, thinking, hey, this guy's a really good guy, or a really good back. So the jury's still out a little bit for me because at Colorado, whether injury or whether just terrible rushing offense, he didn't deliver last year, so to speak. So excited to see what he can do, though. This is the one I think if you're a fantasy football player, you're going to want to go after Drelon Miller, in my opinion. 32 receptions, 277 yards, and 3 touchdowns as a freshman there. And this is a guy, to me, I know Deion, who did he compare him to? Deebo Samuel, I think he compared him to, but he popped off screen to me. Like, this is a guy, and they'll run him too. He's kind of a super athletic freak, in my opinion, that could really be a difference maker this year, especially if they make him the point of emphasis. They got the other underclassman from a year ago, Omarion Miller, who's at times
the Millers.
Yeah, the Millers. We're the Millers. that I think, like, I want to see him as a starter. Obviously, the receiving room was incredibly talented a year ago, so there's no shame in being the backup when all those guys went to the NFL. But and you could see it. I want to say it was the Nebraska game 2 years ago where he had a very good game, and you're sitting there like, oh, this dude could pop. Like this might be a guy that could be a beast. To me, the jury's a little more out on him, but the other one, the other Miller, I'm pretty sold on being very, very good. I will probably draft him in my fantasy league if I have my way, and I'll play him in DFS as well. The offense, though, as you're talking about starting production from a year ago, Hayden got a couple starts. Drelon Miller got, I think, 3 or 4 starts. Seaton started the whole year, the 5-star kid. Houston started the whole year. So it's not the cupboard is a little bit empty if you were to tally up starts. Kind of expected it with his approach in the portal every single year. But, yeah, I mean, Mac, I don't think they're going to be – I don't know, though. Like, I will say this. They're going to be way better at rushing, way worse at passing.
More balanced.
There's a chance it could be better than 69th, though. Like, I do think that's possible. I don't know, though. I'm also still, like, Shermer impressed me last year, but I'm still not, like, I'm not super thrilled with him. But he did do a good job last year. I will not talk any shit. Do you think the offense will be better than 69th?
I kind of think the same. I think that, but it'll be more balanced. To your point, Hayden, he's gonna step into that top back role, but they didn't run the ball at all last year. I mean, they basically just said Shedeur drop back 50 times a game, and you look at the production at the wide receiver position. Yeah, they're losing their top 4. Hunter, Hunter. I always forget Travis Hunter had 100 catches on the year too, as well as being the best cornerback in America. But I mean, Wester, Shepard, and Horn also go to the next level. So the Millers are stepping into a great opportunity to step up. Salter, I'm interested because I don't like that he took a step back. I know he had the red flag situation, but 2 years ago he was awesome. He rushed for over 1,000 yards and he had a really good year passing. So I kind of think that they'll be in the middle of the pack, but they'll be way more balanced. And I'm interested to see the scheme shift going from such a pass-happy team to trying to be more balanced. And
I'm all for it.
Yeah,
but there's only so many third and ones I can see out of the gun before I vomit.
Yeah, but that sometimes takes. I mean, it could take a little bit longer than Buffs fans are hoping.
It could. I mean, look, they're kind of. It's almost like I don't want to say it's as bad as year one. But there's that many unknowns in a shift. They went to the portal like they always do. Like I said, Kaiden Salter from the Flamin' Libs of Liberty. Running back Simeon Price from Coastal, and he was at Mississippi State prior to that. DeKalen Taylor also from Incarnate Word into the running back room. Joseph Williams was a very good wideout at Tulsa last year. Keep an eye out on him. He's projected to start with the Millers. Hykeem Williams also comes in from Florida State. I think he might start as well. And then they kind of went deep sea diving here. Sincere Brown comes in from the Campbell Camels. Jack Hestera from Utah State. He was at Colorado before that. So he went to Colorado. He jumped over to Utah State, then back to Boulder. Zach Adkins, a tight end from Northwest Missouri. What the hell? I love it. The offensive line, Mac, and I think this is what you can tell their focus here.
Big fellas.
Yes, I've mentioned on the past couple night shows, I like anytime you can grab guys on the line of scrimmage from Texas A&M, and that's exactly what they did with, I'm going to butcher his name, but Aki Agungbaye, something like that. And Larry Johnson, Grandmama here from the Tennessee Volunteers, also Andre Roy from the Maryland Terrapins. He started a bunch of games in Maryland. Xylon Chrysler from the Illini. Anytime you get me a Bielma offensive lineman or defensive lineman, I'm happy. Xavier Hill from Memphis. Mana Taimani from Ole Miss there. Zarian McGill from La Tech. And kicker Buck Buchanan. Great fucking legendary name. From Louisiana Tech as well. Punter Damon Greaves from Kansas, not Kentucky. Those are some of the new faces. I think they could be around the same number offensively, though. Like, I don't think they're going to be fucking horrible on offense. I think there's enough playmakers. But the main thing is, like, if you're going to try to be a rushing team, can you be successful at doing that? And we haven't seen that in 2 years with Coach Prime. So I think that's the real X factor here. Yeah, massive lineman recruiting Robert Martin. I believe someone told me this. I don't know that it's still accurate.
They're huge.
Because, yeah, I believe they were the largest offensive line as of a couple of months ago in the country per average. Now, the portal has gone a little crazy since then when the second window opened, so I don't know if that's still accurate. But I do believe at one point that was accurate this offseason. We're going to talk defense, but before I do that, I want to let you know that the College Football Experience Colorado Buffalo edition is brought to you by us. Yes, the College Football Experience. We're part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You can listen to every episode on the network for free. Just type SGPN, click that subscribe button. You will get all of our shows in one spot. NASCAR Gambling Podcast, MLB Gambling Podcast, College Football Experience, Bottom Line Bob, CFL, all of it. So do that and let it ride. We're also brought to you by Circa Millions and Circus Survivor. Think you know ball? Then you have to enter Circus Football Contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There is no rake, so if entries go above the guarantee, all the extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Millions, you pick 5 NFL teams against the spread each week, or you go for the ultimate sweat in Circa Survivor. And also, there's even a Circa Grandissimo for $100,000 Survivor contest there. You must register in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, Las Vegas. What a great reason to book a trip to Vegas. It's obviously Circa's the biggest sports book in the world. They got Stadium Swim. It's incredible. I'll be there in 8 days, I think. Sign up in Nevada. Play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use that promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including all the summer sports, MLB, CFL, WNBA, tennis, golf, and, of course, college football and NFL futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to MyBookie.ag with the promo code TCESGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Of course, terms and conditions apply. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back, and Mac, the real reason that I the offense, who knows? I mean, I'm excited about the shift to a running team. I really am, because that's what I prefer. But this was kind of an unknown to me. Last season when Robert Livingston came in, I was like, who the fuck? Who?
Yeah.
Like that scene in Major League where they're looking at the roster and they're like, who is this guy? Never heard of any of these guys. They hired Robert Livingston. It was like a D-backs coach for the Cincinnati Bengals, which I guess, previously was with Al Golden or whatever. But I was like kind of dumbfounded. I was like, I thought, and I still locked up the over just because I thought the team was too talented on paper. But I was a bit concerned about the coordinator hires. He was awesome last year. Like, he took one of the worst defenses under Charles Kelly the year prior. 43rd in the nation scoring defense, 40th in pass defense, 71st in rush defense for the 50th best defense, a top 50 defense. Unfucking believable. If you would have told me that last year, I would have never agreed to that. Although I thought they were improved and I thought, I locked up the win total over, I just thought that's a tall order to get to 50th. I thought we'd be more like 70th, something like that, 75th. This dude, I am very intrigued to see what he can do with another year in his system. But consider me very impressed and consider me very scared on the future on being able to hang on to him. If he delivers another year like this, I do think some schools will come calling. That might open up the pocketbook. They return. Just one on the D-line, Samuel Okunlola. Preston Hodge, the stud from Liberty. He was good. DJ McKinney, who's a projected first or second round draft pick, the cornerback spot, and Carter Stoutmeyer at the free safety spot. Also kicker Alejandro Mata is back as well. They attack the portal like they do every year. That's their recruiting. And they brought in, and I'm very excited to see Jaheim Otis because I know people have been raving about him. I think he was on Feldman's freaks list at one point, but it didn't work out at Alabama for whatever reasons. He comes in. Maybe Warren Sapp can get to him. Gabriel Lightfoot from Fresno was a very good player for them a year ago. And I mean, a bunch of other, like Tavion Coleman. We talked this with Texas State. This is a guy that stood out for them last year. Martavis French at UTSA, a linebacker, comes in. Kaiden Salter from TCU. Reginald Hughes from Jacksonville State. And Rich Rod there. Sean Myers from North Alabama. I don't know much about Sean Myers. Shout out to Ken there. D-line is crazy. Yeah, I mean,
Warren Sapp.
I mean, gotta love me some Warren Sapp action. They also went to the secondary. Like, obviously, the secondary is the one. That's the one element. Like, going back to last season, I was all over that Texas Tech game. And kind of my logic on the TCU game in year one, when they covered as 21-point dogs, or one outright, I was on the money line, I was just like, dude, they're trying to go air raid against just great fucking athletes. You know what I mean? Like with that was part of my logic on those two plays specifically of just riding the money line. I was like, you beat Colorado in the trenches over the past 2 years. You don't beat them by trying to just go, let's air this thing out down the field. I was like, man, Travis Hunter and all those guys they had, I was like, good luck. They attacked in the portal and brought in a shit ton of guys. Davis, the corner from Wyoming, comes in. Vickers from Oklahoma. Teod Parks from Illinois State in the FCS ranks. Safety Noah King, who was a very high recruit for Kansas State, comes in. Terrence Love from Auburn. John Slaughter from Tennessee. And Beard from South Florida all come in. I mean, you don't have Travis Hunter. He shut down one side of the field. That's concerning. But, I mean, I just want to see Livingston in year two. He was super fucking impressive to me. And I know McKinney, their corner, is getting first-round, second-round hype right now. And I expect there to be a little hit in the secondary. But I also think there's a chance the D-line and linebacking room is better. Just another year with more guys you're putting in there. And it's also second year in Robert Livingston's system. So I think they can put up similar numbers, man. I really do. I know they took a couple of hits in the portal. Hill Green, the linebacker, went to Bama. They lost one DN, the Pitt transfer Hayes to A&M, but I still feel like it's I just think another year in the system and then more athletes, another year into a Primes era where you just have more guys can be to their benefit.
Yeah, and to your point, Livingston, this was such a out of left field hire, and it really came together nicely. And they were very opportunistic as a defensive unit. A lot of it because Travis Hunter. He had that one interception where he wasn't even guarding the guy, and he just broke off his man and picked it off. I think it was against UCF or whoever. But can they be as opportunistic? And that's going to be the whole thing with Colorado. They have more guys this year, but they don't have the top dudes like Travis Hunter and Shedeur. So a lot of moving pieces here with all these portal guys. I know a lot of guys in the trenches that they're bringing in, and from the SEC, from the Big Ten. Can they mesh into a good unit and continue to be an opportunistic defensive unit?
Yeah, and I think that's the question. I mean, and then we'll talk about it with the schedule, whether that can help them or not. Because you can make a case. I don't know. You can make a case the it's a hard schedule, but I feel like it's
way harder this year than last year.
Well, not coming into the year, though, because we thought Oklahoma State was going to be good. We thought Cam Rising would be at Utah. Yeah. So, like, it just a perfect example of, like, just because we think something. Yeah. I thought last year's schedule coming into the season, I thought was fucking brutal. But I was just like, they'll find some wins. We talk about state of the program. Obviously, Coach Prime has had a huge economic impact to the University of Colorado and the city of Boulder. And I think that's super exciting. And we were talking about the hires, the recruiting, Juju Smith coming in, or Juju Smith. Why am I drawing a blank? Juju Lewis coming in, and I think it's an exciting time to be a Buffs fan. But that's part of the state of the program. Another thing is, Mac, I didn't realize this when we did our. I put all of our college football teams into a randomizer, and we've gotten, like, to me, I didn't realize this until doing the slides all day today and over the past couple days. We got like 5 or 6 banger stadiums in a row.
Oh, yeah.
So I could see people just hating on us. Be like, I gave everybody a 10, but it's just what happened, in my opinion. Folsom Field, 101 years old. Look, I know I'm a Buff fan, but I think this place is fucking magical. And I just love this stadium. I don't like this Lavelle Edwards Stadium, App State's Kid Brewer. It doesn't matter. It's just untouchable as far as beauty. I mean, look at this fucking stadium, dude. It's over 101 years old. That's the same fucking field Byron the Wizard White played on, right? And this thing, look at that. You telling me you wouldn't want to play football there? I've always said, Bill McCartney says it in that documentary, but it's just incredible. And when you go there and look at this, I mean, come on, the stadium, the brick, just the look of it is fire, dude. Everything about this stadium to me is a win. And if I'm nitpicking, which I will nitpick, they are getting rid of the grass and going to turf this season, which really fucking bothers me. Really fucking bothers me.
Well, especially when you're going to run the ball more.
Well, especially you want to get your guys injured. The stats say like it's like 38.4% higher of a chance to getting injured. I don't understand it. If economically, I guess it makes some sort of logic to them, but I hate it personally. But man, if you've been there, I've been to the stadium. I think it's just perfection to me. Like I take notes NFL to me because look at this thing, man. This is like a fucking chapel. This got the statues, man. It's fucking perfect, man. Go if you ever get the chance to go, you got to go just because it's that beautiful. Mac, what do you give this thing 1 to 10?
They're gonna get mad at me. 10. It's a great stadium, and I thought it really got showcased when Deion first got there, and they had the back. I feel like they had fucking game day there every week when he first got there, and for that Nebraska game and then the Colorado State game. I thought it was good to just showcase how great that building is and just the scenery of Boulder and him sleeping in his office and waking up and looking out at the mountains. I mean, it's big time there. Yeah. I mean, it's just, this is like why college football, one of the reasons why college football is incredible. They protect their stadiums. And also like they did some genius back in, the 1920s said, hey, let's put the stadium right next to these fucking mountains. Same way I say it with Lavelle Edwards Stadium with BYU. It's like, it's just fucking perfect. It's perfect. From the way and if you go to a game, look at this is back in the day. It hasn't even changed that much. That's my point, man. It has not changed that much. So if you get a chance to, I mean, just that scenery, they knew what they were fucking doing. Now, like NFL franchises are like, no, we're going to move it out. We'll put it, there's an area of field right by the freeway. No, choose something cool as shit. Like these are beautiful, like these mountains. And it also fits your identity as a team. You're the Colorado Buffaloes. It's perfect. I don't know, man. Look at the old film back in the day. See, it hasn't changed that much, dude. It hasn't fucking changed that much, which I love. They throw their money into it to preserve it. And that is why, to me, the NFL is all full of shit. When they get other owners that say, hey, you got to need a new stadium. We're going to make you taxpayers pay for it every 20 years. No, you don't need to do that. You invest in your stadium, you fucking greedy, selfish pricks. Right. And there's perfect examples scattered all throughout college football. And there's a reason why their stadiums are way fucking better than every single stadium in the NFL. Every single one. There's not one that is even touching this shit to me. And this isn't a big stadium either. It only seats 52, I think, 52 or 53,000. Yeah. So yeah, you don't need 100,000. I know we did the shoe in Beaver Stadium last night, and those seat 100,000. But I mean, this is still big time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need that. I mean, to me, like one of the more overrated ones, and I like the big house, but I think it's a bit overrated. You know what I mean? Like just because you can seat 110,000 doesn't mean it's the big house is a cool stadium. I'm not trying to shit on it, but I'm just saying like I'll take this over that. You know what I mean? I'll take there's a bunch of other ones. Kid Brewer I would take over that. Just fucking phenomenal though, man. Get out to a game if you haven't been. Doesn't matter if Prime is there or not. This thing ain't going away. All right. And how about Ralphie? That when you add that element to it too, a big ass fucking buffalo. Are you kidding me?
I think you set the record for most slides on this.
Oh yeah,
show. I knew. I
did. Yeah.
I knew this coming in. I go. I can't wait to see this slideshow tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're deep into the slideshow here. Look at that shit, man. Get yourself out to Boulder. This shit is beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Imagine hauling a fucking buffalo, Mac. All right. These dudes are they're crazier than the football players. All right. Yeah. You got to fucking, I'm just going to run out there with a buffalo, 1,000-pound fucking animal. Check this out though. One thing we talked about this the other night when I cracked an App State beer. Go listen to our App State preview. Is when I bought their beer, it donated to their NIL collective. One of the things I like is Colorado's Ralphie Reserve Bourbon going to their NIL collective, available at the stadium. Why is every university not doing this for everything? You basically create a city. Everything should be kicking back to your athletic department, your pizza place, your fucking bowling alley, whatever, everything should be going back to it. So if you're hitting a game, make sure you check out Ralphie's Reserve Bourbon. I mean, look at that place, man. I could talk. Should we do an hour on the fucking stadium? I could do an hour on the stadium.
That's why I'm just letting you go because storm watch in alert. You gotta. If you're going to a game and it's a big upset, or if in Colorado's instance, some of those games I guess weren't even a big upset. You're just playing Colorado State. Storm, whatever. If the feeling's right, you storm. State of the program, Mac. Well, as long as Coach Prime is there right now, I'm going to give this. Now, obviously, we've only had one winning season since 17, and it was last year. So I do think, but to me, as long as Deion's there and you're bringing in the caliber athlete that he's bringing in, I will give it an 8. Now, sure, you could say, Dundee, why you need to see it more consistently. You said that on other shows for other teams, and that's fair. But I just know the caliber of athlete today as opposed to 6 years ago. Yeah.
It's a big difference. And the amount of money that's been coming through Boulder, I give it an 8. What are you giving this thing?
I was going back and forth on this one. I think I was going to give it a 9, man. I mean, they won one game 2 years ago. Now, they do need to follow it up with another winning season. I'm not saying they got to win 9 or 10 games, but a winning season so it's not, quote-unquote, a one-hit wonder. But, I mean, with the publicity and just the eyeballs that have come to Colorado since Deion got there, I'll give it a 9.
There we go. He's going higher than me. You hear that, folks?
There you go.
Look at that. I humbled myself.
12, baby. You're in the right league.
Let's go.
Pac-12 shit. Come back home to the Big 12.
Folks, look, before we get to the schedule, I want to let you know that the Colorado Buffaloes 2025 season preview episode on the College Football Experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long. Giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million in first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football, folks. So sign up over at Underdog Fantasy. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yes, you probably heard me talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a new game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a very high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. And look, Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. There's no touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. So download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know damn well we will be. Also, get your free 7-day trial period, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right. Chat's rolling. I'm seeing battles in the chat. This is the way I like it. All right.
Well, dust up in the chat.
Yeah. And by the way, I do want to just hit on the fact that last year I had Vanderbilt money line as a double-digit dog against Virginia Tech week 1. And 2 years ago, I had Colorado. I think it was plus 800, if memory serves me correct. Money line against TCU. So when we're talking week 1, man, you can find some gold in them there hills. Let's get to the schedule, man. Week 1, Friday night, Haynes King, Brent Key, Georgia Tech, coming into Boulder, Colorado. These two teams should have played for the national championship in '90. But the dumb system we had gave them a split national championship. I think Colorado had 2 out of 3 polls, so they got it more recognition. But glad to see they're finally playing. And I, as a Buff fan, I think it's a bad matchup for us. We're trying to be a power rushing team. The epitome of a power rushing team with their quarterback power play. What did Haynes King run for? I feel like they called the quarterback power against Georgia 39 times, and it was awesome. I was loving it. It was just watching every play. Like Kirby Smart, defensive guy, he was going fucking crazy. There's like, I can't stop this fucking Haynes King guy. They also got a stud running back in Jamal Haynes, who I'm a huge fan of as well. As much as I love my Buffs, maybe Boulder could be an element where, because Georgia Tech does, like, the thin air can get you maybe, but I think Georgia Tech's a better team coming into week 1. The line reflects it. So I have the Buffs at 0-1. I just feel like I'd rather play a finesse team. If you're trying to be this power rushing team, you don't want to play one that's already established as a power rushing team. And that's what Georgia Tech is to me. So I got the Jackets coming into Folsom and grabbing a dub. What are you doing here?
Yeah, we did the Jackets preview already, and we both took them here. I'm going to ride the experience here. I think they can get out to Boulder a couple days early with it being week 1 and get used to that elevation. And Colorado did start slow last year, if you remember. I mean, North Dakota State, they had them. That was a hell of a game. And then they at Nebraska, they kind of got handled. But I'll take the Jackets here with that experience in Haynes King.
Yeah, I mean, North Dakota State did win the FCS national championship, though. They probably would have been top 40 in the FBS.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think Georgia Tech with Haynes King, he's a very good. I think he's criminally underrated when it comes to college football. So I got the Buffs at 0-1. Week 2, the Delaware Blue Hens come to town. First ever matchup here. I don't even know how the hell this got on the schedule. Like, how did this game? Can we get a story on how this game came to fruition? Like, strange, but I will take the Buffs to get their first home win against the Delaware Blue Hens, who take on their arch rivals, Delaware State, week 1. So I think it's a good spot there for the Buffs. 1-1. What are you doing here?
1-1. Bounce back. Go Buffs here.
Then week 3. Got the old Colorado draw in there. Look at that motherfucker.
Is this a Friday night game?
I think it is.
Yeah. Wow.
This one I actually like here. Well, I don't know. This is intriguing. Like, so I am high on Houston this year. I think Houston's going to go to a bowl, but I also think you want to play Houston early in the year. But I also think Colorado might not be who the fuck they want to be early in the year. So it's a tricky spot. Houston's secondary is very depleted. I think by the end of the year, Houston and Fritz will be rolling. It's a trick. Like, this is like to me like a
coin flip.
Yeah, I really have a hard time with this one, but I'm gonna go Buffs. I think you want to play Houston in September more than any other time all year. Kaiden Salter's the difference. Because Houston's offense was terrible last year. I think it's gonna get better this year, but I also don't expect it to be very good in September.
I went back and forth on this one. I actually think this is their most winnable road game too. I think
I would agree with that.
Their road schedule is a bear, so I'll give them this one. And Deion, one thing about Deion gets up when it goes down to the state of Texas. I've noticed that over the last 2 years.
Oh yeah, that plus 800's talking still, buddy.
Careful, you got to go back down there this year, and Chandler Morris isn't quarterback anymore. But yeah, give me the Buffs.
Hey, first of all, if you remember the year that they went to the national championship, Colorado injured. They played in Boulder week 1, and Colorado knocked out Chandler Morris because those idiots weren't even starting Max Duggan.
I know.
Even though we've been claiming on these airwaves they should have been starting Duggan for years. All right, so they owe us. All right, they fucking owe us for that one. That's like the Mo Lewis knocking out Bledsoe, so Brady comes in. No one would have heard of fucking Tom Brady then, right?
I know. I got him 2-1 though. There you go.
I got him 2-1 too, and then we get a classic game that goes back 125 years. Wyoming coming to Colorado. I think Colorado will win this one. I think 3-1, and I think it's essential, Mac, if they are going to go bowling and if they're going to just be a contender in the Big 12, they have to start hot. They have to build that momentum and build that confidence and that excitement. So I think it's essential that they start 3-1. I think they're going to start 3-1 if I had to bet. But they better not trip up in one of these games. Wyoming was a total disappointment last year. So fuck them. But if they were like Craig Bohl's team, this would be a scary matchup. But give me the Buffs.
Yeah, if they lose this one, they're in trouble. I'll be 3-1 here, headed into the rematch of the Alamo Bowl.
Yes, and we just got some great news. This is what I mean is like I think this is a very nice start to the schedule if they can handle their shit.
Yep.
Jake Retzlaff, the starting quarterback of BYU. Well, he didn't soak. All right, he went the distance with some broad in Salt Lake City, and now all BYU's on their high horse trying to suspend this kid 8 games or 7 games, whatever it is, just because he got some ass. And they want us to believe that those national championship teams that had fucking Jim McMahon. You're telling me Jim McMahon, who they recruited out of California, came there and didn't get ass? Fuck you. That is a lie. You are liars. I like Colorado now, dude. This was a loss to me 2 weeks ago. I like Colorado now, dude. That's a big fucking loss. Give me the Buffs. 4-1.
Yeah, BYU's not the same team away from Provo. I know they beat their ass down there in Texas in the bowl game, and that actually put some value in the bowl game because actually both teams played to win. It wasn't one of those BS bowl games where guys were opting out left and right. But revenge, 4-1, and here comes the stretch now. Yeah. They need to start this. This is essential that they start like this because you have to build that hype. Even if they're 3-2, I think you'd be happy as a Buff fan. But I got them 4-1. Love that news with Retzlaff getting ass. All right, young son, go get more pussy. Right. You're only 20. You're only in your 20s for so long, and BYU probably gave you a shit ton of money. What do they expect you to do? Fucking go read Hardy Boys books? God damn it, man! What are we doing? 4-1. Let's go. Next up, they head to TCU where they did win as a 21-point dog, Mac. Back 2 years ago. I'm on G. Carter Stadium. Love the stadium down there in Fort Worth. I'm intrigued. I'll tell you this. If we start off 4-1, look, they're running that Kendall Briles bullshit. All right. We got athletes that can go toe to toe in the secondary with this. Look, I'll take TCU to win this one, but I'm just saying, give me the points all fucking day because they're not going to be a power rushing team, which I think could be the kryptonite to Colorado. I like our athletes in the secondary going up against these wideouts. I do. I think it will make for a good game, kind of like Texas Tech last year. But since it is on the road, and I did give kind of 50-50 games to Colorado before, I'll say loss here. All I'm saying, though, is pay attention to this shit. I was on that shit with Texas Tech. You want to try to throw in the ball 50 times a game against good athletes, then be ready. What are you doing here? TCU revenge. They're not going to lose back-to-back in Fort Worth to them. And I like TCU a lot this year with Hoover. So, give me the Frogs here, 4-2. All right, then they come
Out of that, they come home, and Matt Campbell and Iowa State are waiting for them. Series goes back to 1946. It's a tough game. I will take Iowa State here. I like Iowa State plays so many. You know what Matt Campbell is, man? I'm a huge Matt Campbell fan, but he's a lot like Chris Creighton. Where you in the
overachieves.
Well, he overachieves, but damn if they're not one-score games. Remember that one year they were asked like 2 years ago, and I think they won like 3 or 4 games 2 years ago. But you look, and it was like, 7 of their 8 losses were by like 4 points or less. They live by that margin, and that's what go look at their wins for majority of his tenure. They win by 3 points. They win by 4 points. My point is I think it'll be a close game, but I would say I do think is a more proven roster right now. But all I'm saying is one fucking play is the difference in this game.
And Campbell's been really good in October over the years. His teams get better and better. They're replacing some on the defense. They'll be ready to go by now. I'll take Rocco Becht and the Clones here. So 4-3.
Yeah, 4-3. We're both there. Bye week. Beyond Figures glory. What's up? 7
games in 7 weeks to start the year.
Yeah, I don't know that I prefer that either.
No, getting Iowa State on game number 7 in 7 weeks. That's not really the team I want to play. It's like playing a root canal, playing them.
Yeah. I do like this bye week though in a way, because you get 2 weeks to prep for Kyle Whittingham in Utah at Rice Eccles, which to me, if you're going to get a bye week, you want to use them for. It's very hard to win at Rice Eccles. Well, unless they have quarterback injuries, which is always on the table because they do run the shit out of their quarterbacks. But I can't take Colorado at Rice Eccles, dude. I just can't. I love my Buffs, but if you're telling me Dampier's healthy, I just can't. I can't take the road team. Really, any road team. Like, I don't give a shit. I've made this statement before. They could be playing anyone in the country at Rice Eccles. If you're telling me their quarterback play is healthy, more times than not, I'll take Rice Eccles. What are you doing here?
I'm not, I can't believe how many people are sleeping on Utah. They had one bad year for the first time in 20 years. They're going to be back as a 9-10 win team as long as they don't have their 4-string quarterback. Yeah, Colorado beat their ass last year in Boulder with that horrible quarterback situation. Utah, big here, I think.
So what, 4-4? We had 4-4?
Yeah. We both had them on a 3-game losing streak. Schedule fucking got hard quick.
And then Noah Fafita and Brent Brennan in Arizona come to town. I will take the Buffs to get a win here. The series goes back to 1931 here. This is their 5th win of the season. To me, what I love about it is it's November and it will probably be cold in Boulder, and you have a little desert team coming up to the mountains. So what are you doing here?
They got to get this one. Yeah, on a 3-game losing streak, bounce back 5-4. Then you got to find one more for a bowl game.
Yeah, and then they head to Morgantown, which is by far one of the most hilarious games on the schedule. I can't wait.
Deion
this.
In
Morgantown's perfect. I fucking love this sport. If you listen to the West Virginia preview, I took West Virginia because I believe this place will be chomping at the bit to have Deion there.
Yes.
I also think Rich Rod's offense, when it comes to November, I've seen Rich Rod do it so many times. Normally they sputter in September, and you start to get a little bit better in October. But by the time November comes around, they get that timing. See, I would have rather had West Virginia. If you told me this game was a month earlier, I think Colorado's chances of winning it are much better. I'll take West Virginia here. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm taking. I took my Mountaineers in that one. It's going to be a buzzsaw walking into this place, and got to go cross country mid-November. Deion in Morgantown. We're going to introduce you to some couches, Buffs fans. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Let's go.
This needs to be a new rivalry: West Virginia, Colorado.
Let's go. Let's get it on the schedule every year. Then You got a bye week again. Shout out to the great Rashad Salam. May he rest in peace. Then you come out of that and you're hosting Arizona State. And, Mac, I ain't falling for this Arizona State bullshit. All right? All these close wins. Coach Prime is 1-0 against Dillingham. Make it 2-0. Boom. And can I predict a possible field storming if Arizona State's ranked? Once again, another Arizona school going up to, what is this, November 22nd?
Yeah.
Buffs.
I took the Devils on Sun Devils on their preview. I think they get revenge from that crazy game 2 years ago when Colorado walked it off. I think Arizona State walks it off in Boulder. Levitt gets a big win.
So that puts you then at 5-6. And then they are headed to Bill Snyder Family Stadium to take on Kansas State on November 29th. This will be a loss, in my opinion. But that puts me at 6-6, Mac, and I want to get your opinion on this. But the win total is 6.5, so I'm going to go back to this specific game and say Colorado upsets TCU. Give me the fucking over. Now, this will not be a lock on the win total for me like the previous 2 years because I honestly feel like there's so much unknown. But I do think that this is a game right here. This is a 50-50 game. I know I think Colorado plays well to their strengths. I have them losing in Bill Snyder Family Stadium. You do too. 5-7. You are solidly on the under. Are you locking this thing?
Yeah. This is the Big 12 in a nutshell. Zigzag league. You overachieve by a couple games the previous year, then you underachieve the next year. They just got so many moving pieces. They got to replace the Heisman Trophy winner, a two-way player. I know Shedeur won the 5th round. He's really a first or second round quarterback. I know their offensive line, there's a lot of pieces there. It's a new unit. And their road schedule's brutal. It's a hard schedule.
It is a hard schedule. It is. Like, I would rather, like, those road spots at Houston, at TCU, at Salt Lake City, at West Virginia, and at Kansas State is pretty fucking tough. Especially, like, getting West Virginia that late in the year where I think they'll be a lot better. But I also think you're playing with a little bit of fire. Just because I could totally see Colorado beating Iowa State in Boulder. Right? I think the TCU game is winning. I wouldn't even be that shocked if the Georgia Tech win happened. I mean, I'm taking Georgia Tech, but I'm just saying, like, Georgia Tech's a weird fucking team, dude. They lose to teams they shouldn't all the time.
Yeah.
You know, they beat like top 10 teams and then lose to fucking I don't know, Wake Forest or something. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. What is the ceiling? Because to me, I only have like 2 automatic for sure losses on the schedule. And that is Utah and Kansas State. Now, do I think Colorado's going to go 10-2? No, I don't. Like I just said, give me 7-5. And I think 6-6 or 7-5 is what I project them to be. But to play devil's advocate, though, I will say, like, you think TCU is a for sure loss? Because I don't.
Maybe not a for sure loss, but I mean, I'm pretty confident TCU's not going to lose twice in 3 years at home to Colorado.
I just think it's a bad matchup for them, though. Like, I just think it but
Travis Hunter's not on the team this game. I mean,
I know, but they still have
single-handedly dominated that game that day.
I'm just saying they still have top-notch corners, and like, to me, it's not. And this team is a lot better than that 4-win team, in my opinion. Just the roster depth is a lot better. But ceiling to me is 10-2. The floor, though, because the floor, they could lose to Georgia Tech. They could lose to Houston. What's the floor? 3-9?
I was going to say the floor is year one, where they lose some tough, close games. But I will say, Buffs fans, last year, I thought the schedule was hard as shit. They ended up playing 6 out of the bottom 7 teams. So the Big 12 is very unpredictable, and they ended up having a beautiful schedule. They missed Arizona State. They missed BYU to the bowl game.
Iowa State they missed. Yeah.
TCU. Like, they had a great schedule last year, and it lined up nice. So getting Utah and Oklahoma State at the end while they were a shell of themselves. But right now, I mean, I would say the floor is 4-8. I'd say the ceiling's 8-4.
See, what's crazy for me is I would say the floor is like 3-9, and I think the ceiling is 10 wins, just because I don't know. I mean, all these games are like fucking 1-score games to me. Like, not Utah and Kansas State. Like, Utah and Kansas State, I fully expect double-digit wins by Utah and Kansas State. Every other game on the schedule to me is a lot of close games. I'll be honest, like even like if Colorado doesn't have their shit together, Delaware and Wyoming could give them a game.
I mean, we gave him at Houston too.
Yeah, but I liked them playing in September, Houston.
Yeah.
But no, they could so easily lose that. They could lose that. I think Fritz is a really good coach. So yeah, Robert Martin's got him at 6-6 in the chat. Tell us what you got him at. Leave it in the comments section. I'll take the over because I think Deion pays attention to that shit. 7-5 will happen. But this will certainly not be a lock for me. Like I said, the other 2 years I felt like the line was disrespectful based on the talent they had on at certain positions. This one, I actually think they got the number right. To me, it would be like 6 or 6.5. So I think they got the number right. I think if you're a Buffs fan, even if you go 6-6, and if you could win a bowl game, back-to-back bowl games,
yeah,
let's go. I think that's a good thing. Now, having said that, I'm not locking the win total at all, but I will take a stab at plus 3,100 to win the Big 12. Why fucking not? Why not? I mean, we just mentioned last year, Cam Rising gets injured for Utah, right? Oklahoma State was returning everybody, and they just, I don't know what happened. They got paid and just stopped caring about football.
It's the Big 12, man.
Yeah.
When you're expected to be good, you tank. That's why I said I couldn't wait to fade Colorado, BYU, and Arizona State this year.
Yeah, no, I mean, and maybe Colorado is that team that wins 3 games then. But I also think I just think you already see it with Retzlaff. That BYU game looked like a loss to me.
Yeah.
I think BYU might be ass now this season. So it's worth a sprinkle, especially if you're a Buffs fan like me. 3,100 to win the Big 12? Fuck it. Let's go. All right. You like anything else on the board here? No, obviously, because you're on the under. Yeah. Moneyline Mac is locking the under on the Buffs.
I'm sure I'll get some nice comments in. The Colorado fans are very nice when you don't pick them every game. Love you, Buffs. I love the Buffs.
Well, I mean, a lot of people were hating. We cashed the over. I listened to so many fucking podcasts, including your own, hammering the fucking under on the win total the past 2 years. When I locked those things up, I felt good about that. This is not a lock, though. Folks, give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColeBD. TCU, we're winning in Amon G. Carter Stadium. Let's go. All right. We will be back in about 5 minutes talking Wisconsin Badger football. All right. On Wisconsin is what they say. Till next time. This is the college football experience. Enjoy the slideshow honoring Colorado history here. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. They say the Lord watches over my sins, over my head, watching hair as it thins. Over the ledge, it ain't letting me in. There's still regiments and relevance to letting me win. Win, lose or draw. You ain't prepared unless you all ready to lose it all. Losing a brawl? Yeah, that's a Friday day. Good friends know my Nina Hideaway. They came and went, but the riders stay. So it's like I won the lottery and can't be found until I resurface with the latest purchase. 33 and a third and 45 circles. You ain't got that shit. And I ain't 45 king. put on the beats, I've been doing my thing. I start the program and the doorbell ring. I gotta leave town to a place I can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. American dreams, lessons, and still they work. I guess the sand on the beach still was really dirt. Now I'm going home, flying over Rome at 30,000 feet. Like, damn, is that really Earth? I see the killers work on walls, familiar turf. Got a little school in graph, 101 was first. Got a little school in math, didn't really work. But put the numbers on the block and I make them hurt. Any block is my stomping ground where my people lay low so they can't be found. They don't wanna be, ain't from the crew, but I'm honorary. Liquid, soul assassin, harmony. Type of armory that's more than a shield. Type of armory's DeLorean steel. Type of warrior's ill. So true to my sound, but dig deep so it can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down.
It's the revenge of our stealth, the intelligence plane. Bomber, a manifestation of karma. The far left, low keys, let it be. Listen, whispering words of wisdom. Ghost dog, breathe in the shadow of leaves. Same darkness I strip in those crooks and thieves. Special forces, black ops. Bad brains, fishbone, black rock. Matter of fact, Chuck Berry and James Brown. But most of the true story can't be found. Unchained melodies inscribed to freestyle. I rock rhyme mosaics more potent with each style. Crack the system more open with each file. Upgrades and free hotels with these miles. Expansion team dilated peoples in town. If there's a better sound in it,
can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down.
I'm going to tell you about it now.